Level 1. Street Runner. The first package didn't look dangerous. It looked ordinary. A small brown parcel wrapped in old paper. The man who handed it to you barely looked at your face. Rain hammered the rusted rooftops above the harbor as cargo ships groaned against the docks. The smell of salt water mixed with diesel fuel filled the air. You were broke, hungry, desperate, and desperate people rarely ask questions. Your job seemed simple. Carry the package across town, hand it to a woman wearing a red scarf, walk away. No questions, no conversations, no mistakes. The payment was more money than you usually earned in an entire week. That should have been your warning, but you ignored it. The delivery went smoothly. Then another followed, and another. Soon your nights became a blur of dark alleyways, coded messages, and nervous strangers. You learned something quickly. The harbor had two worlds, the world everyone saw, and the world hidden underneath it. One night, while making a routine delivery, you noticed armed men dragging a screaming merchant into a warehouse. The doors slammed shut. The screams stopped. Nobody talked about it the next day. Nobody even acknowledged it happened. For the first time, fear crept into your thoughts. But the money kept flowing, and fear became easier to ignore. Until one night someone started following you. You never saw their face, only their shadow, watching, waiting. You didn't know it yet. But someone had begun taking interest in you. Level 2, Dock Courier. The promotion arrived unexpectedly. You were no longer carrying small packages. Now you were moving cargo. Real cargo. Crates, containers, entire shipments. The harbor looked different from this level. The giant ships became floating cities. Towering cranes swung overhead like steel monsters. Fog rolled across the water every morning. You worked directly under a smuggler known only as Mason. Nobody knew his real name. Nobody dared ask. Mason taught you the first rule of smuggling. The cargo matters less than the route. A shipment could be worth millions. But if the route failed, everything failed. You learned hidden pathways through the city, abandoned tunnels, forgotten warehouses, secret storage locations. Every successful shipment increased your value. Every mistake could get someone killed. One stormy night, a shipment disappeared. Millions vanished. Panic spread through the network. Everyone became suspicious. Everyone looked guilty. Then Mason made a decision. Someone would take the blame. A young courier named Adrian was accused. You knew he was innocent. You had seen him elsewhere that night, but speaking up could destroy your future. So you stayed silent. The next morning, Adrian was gone. Nobody mentioned him again. The guilt stayed with you, but the promotion came shortly afterward. And guilt, you discovered, was easy to bury beneath success. For a while. Level 3. Border Scout. The smuggling operation expanded beyond the city. Now your job involved borders. Entire regions depended on your information. You mapped patrol schedules, guard rotations, inspection checkpoints, weak points, blind spots. Every report you delivered could determine the success or failure of an operation. The pressure was enormous. The rewards were even greater. For the first time in your life, you had money. Real money. A better apartment, better clothes, a better reputation. But every improvement carried a cost. The more valuable you became, the more dangerous your world became. One evening, while observing a remote checkpoint, you discovered something terrifying. Another organization was operating nearby, a rival smuggling network, and they had already noticed your presence. That night, someone left a message on your car. 3 words. We see you. The game had changed, and the next move could start a war. Level 4. Route Manager. War arrived faster than expected. Shipments started disappearing. Drivers vanished, warehouses burned, routes collapsed overnight. As route manager, every disaster landed on your desk. You spent sleepless nights rebuilding operations, negotiating deals, preventing violence, trying to keep the network alive. The city itself felt different. Every street seemed dangerous. Every stranger seemed suspicious. Every shadow felt alive. One evening, Mason summoned you. His office overlooked the harbor. Rain pounded against the windows. The atmosphere felt wrong. Mason revealed a shocking truth. The rival network wasn't new. It had existed for years, and someone inside your organization was helping them. A traitor, a leak, a ghost hiding among hundreds of smugglers. Your mission was simple: find them. Before they destroyed everything, you accepted, not realizing the investigation would reveal a secret far closer to home than you expected. Level 5. Operations Chief. You found the leak, and you wished you hadn't. The traitor wasn't a stranger. It was Mason's own brother. For years, he had secretly sold information to rival groups. Routes, schedules, contacts, everything. The betrayal shattered the organization. Mason was never the same afterward. Neither were you. But exposing the leak elevated your status. You became operations chief, one of the most powerful figures in the network. Entire cities depended on your decisions. Your influence stretched across ports, highways, and borders. Yet something strange happened. The higher you climbed, the less satisfaction you felt. Success felt empty. You had everything you once wanted: money, power, respect. But every achievement seemed built on regret. Then tragedy struck. A routine shipment ended in disaster. Several innocent workers were caught in the chaos. The news spread quickly. Their families never knew the full story. But you did. And the weight became impossible to ignore. For the first time, you began questioning whether any of this was worth it. Level 6. Smuggling Boss. The promotion should have felt like victory. Instead, it felt like a burden. Mason retired unexpectedly. The organization chose you as his successor. Now every decision belonged to you. Every success, every failure, every consequence. The network reached its peak under your leadership. Profits soared. Operations expanded. Influence grew. But so did attention. Authorities launched investigations. Rivals became more aggressive. Former allies became enemies. The walls slowly closed around you. Then the rival leader finally revealed himself, a man known as Victor Kane. Cold, patient, brilliant. For years he had been working behind the scenes. Every setback, every attack, every betrayal. His fingerprints were everywhere, and now he wanted everything, including your empire. The final confrontation was approaching. Level 7. Kingpin. The war consumed everything. Routes collapsed, warehouses exploded, alliances shattered, people disappeared. The harbor became a battlefield disguised as a business district. Every decision felt impossible. Every victory felt temporary. Then Victor made his move. He offered peace. On one condition: you surrender control. Many urged you to accept. Others demanded war. You faced the hardest decision of your life. The answer would determine the future of everyone involved. And no matter what you chose, someone would suffer. Level 8. Reflection. Years later, the harbor still looked the same. Ships still arrived. Fog still drifted across the water. Workers still hurried along the docks. Life moved forward, as if none of it had happened. You stood alone overlooking the harbor where everything began. The same place where a desperate young runner accepted a small package for quick money. Back then, success seemed simple. Earn more, climb higher, gain power. But every promotion had demanded something in return: a friendship, a piece of your conscience, a part of yourself. You learned that power rarely arrives alone. It brings responsibility, consequences, regret. And sometimes those costs are hidden until it's too late. The world remembered the smuggling empire. Few remembered the people lost along the way. But you remembered every face, every mistake, every choice. The harbor lights reflected across the dark water as night slowly arrived. And for the first time in many years, you finally understood something. The most dangerous thing you ever smuggled wasn't cargo. It was your own future.